Hello class, my name is Carl Nelson. This is for PM692 and today we'll be talking about communications management. Communications management helps to ensure the timely and appropriate planning, collection, creation, and distribution of project information. As a project manager, you have to have effective communication at all levels of your organization as well as external organizations, and that's why communication is key. First, we're going to talk about understanding communications management and how it applies to project management. First, the process starts off with developing a project plan for communications based on the stakeholders' information provided and requirements. Next, it focuses on creating processes and collecting and distributing the information that pertains to the project. Lastly, the process focuses on monitoring, controlling the communications throughout the entire project life. All three of these levels, plan communications management, manage communications, and control communications, are all key to the project itself and project management. Next, we're going to talk about the variables that your team may have when communicating with your team. The first variable when communicating with your team is technology, whether it's written reports, conversations, face-to-face, email, online databases, schedules. Next thing you have to be wary of are you in the same location physically? When you're not, then different variables might come into play. Next are diversity issues. And lastly, time zones. Like with my team right now, I'm currently in Hawaii, so our team has to deal with different time zones, so that might be a variable that each team has to deal with. So it's important communicating with your team and dealing with the different variables that might come up. Next, we're going to talk about running an actual team meeting. Running a team meeting is very important. Everybody sat through different meetings when they become long and then people become disinterested. So I think that having a positive attitude about the meetings when you come in is very important. Also, having a written agenda in advance and passed out to all the team members so they know exactly what you're covering, exactly what topics that the team will be going over. Managing the clock is also very important. Like I discussed, nobody wants a meeting that's run overtime, so managing the clock is very important. And then sticking to a schedule. If you have different points that you want to hit by a certain time mark, then sticking to a schedule is very important. Lastly, following up at the end, make sure everybody understands what's expected of them is also important in the team meeting. Next, communication blockers. Communication blockers is something that blocks the effective communication between you and your team. Some of these examples might be ignoring cultural differences, stereotyping different members in your team, just managing your team by email only, never having face-to-face conversations, having selective hearing, and then sending mixed messages. Some of the consequences of these communication blockers might be reducing the ability to really hear what somebody's saying because you have selective hearing or you're stereotyping them for a certain reason. Emails can also be misconstrued if you're only communicating by email, and then it may cause undue tension. Next, sending mixed messages to team members may cause the team member to do the opposite of what you're actually requesting. So it's very important to have sound, effective communication. Some of the communication methods for team members and team projects are interactive communication. That's where stakeholders can go to any team member, figure out what's going on, and provide input if needed. The push information, filtering down all the information to the team, or the pull information, having a data depository where all the team members can pull from and the stakeholders can pull information from, so they know exactly what's going on with the team at any given time. Next, we're going to talk about ways to discuss issues that might come up. The best way to do this is a issue resolution process. First, you have to declare, is there a problem? and discuss the impact that will have, who will have an impact on solving the actual issue. Discuss and decide what the actual issue is. Next, you're going to have to record the issue and then assign a person to be placed to resolve that certain issue. Next will be collaborating on ways to resolve that issue. And then lastly, recommending the direction and seeking agreement so you can continue on with the rest of the project. Lastly, determining praise and discipline within your team. For me, I think consistency, whether it be praise or discipline, is always key. No one wants the same person to be praised over and over again and others being left behind, or one person is being disciplined in private while other people are being berated out in front of the public. So I think consistency is key. When it comes to praise, I think you should recognize the project hero, person that's doing the most. Also notice the unsung heroes, the people that's doing all the work behind the scenes. And then sometimes you have to dig into people's work and figure out something that they're doing that you really like and then praise them for it. And then tie all that into the bigger purpose and efforts of the actual project. When it comes to discipline, I think it's imperative to conduct discipline in private, like I talked about. Control your emotions. I know everybody gets upset when they're dishing out discipline, but I think controlling your emotions is one of the biggest key to it. Don't assign labels to anybody, and then avoid using you statements as far as that person didn't do anything to help the team. Just speak in broader sense, like these are the things that need to be accomplished, and this is how we would like you to accomplish that. That concludes my video. Looking forward to your feedback. Thank you.